She is Miss Rhode Island, and I did notice quite a few pictures of you. You actually do clean up very well, I have to say.
Yeah, well, you can dress me up, but there's a few places you can take me.
Well, obviously,
you can dress me up a little bit.
Well, from what I also hear, you're also an accomplished cook, to the point where you've sent recipes to the top office in the state. You sent recipes to Gina Raimondo herself.
It's funny. Remember last year? It was about a year ago during the campaign. She she took a lot of flack for this. She's trying to use social media and kind of engage younger people, I think, more, and try to come across as more friendly. And I think also, too, wants to remind people that she's not just running for governor. She's still a wife and mom, too. And so she put out a tweet, anybody out there have any good pot roast recipes? And she got just a lot of people that just thought it was disingenuous and whatever, or just silly or unbecoming of the office of governor. But look, she put it out there, so she was coming in for an interview, and she came in one day, and I said, Madam Treasurer, I've got the easiest pot roast recipe on earth. And she goes, well, give it to me. She goes, well, give it to me after the interview. I said, no, I can tell you off the top of my head. So she called the guy that was working on our campaign and said, come on over here and write this down. All you do is you take a pot roast, okay? You get like a 5-pound pot roast at Stop and Shop.
Yep.
You put it in the frying pan, brown it on both sides, put it in a crock pot, open 2 cans of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, pour them in, and take a powdered package of that French onion soup mix, just one package, throw it in there, put the top in the crock pot, turn the thing on. 10 hours later, come back, you got a pot roast in the most delicious gravy you've ever had in your life. All you got to do is make the mashed potatoes. It's easy.
Okay.
As Ron Popeil used to say, Ginsu guy or whatever, set it and forget it.
Well, I too, I am a cook. I do cook quite well. As you can tell by my the shape that I'm in.
The two of us, our girlish figures give us away.
I call it petite.
Yes.
This is, fat is the new petite, and I am quite petite. So you got into the food blogging as basically a fix, or
kind of fun. I'm now one of the Yelp elite reviewers in Rhode Island, so I get to go to all these fun parties at Yelp.com. Yelp.com. It's hard to say on a Sunday afternoon. Throw at restaurants and bars around town. And I started to cook when I was 5 years old, or 4 years old. My grandma taught me how to cook. And I've been cooking ever since. I come from a big family. Having a big Sunday meal was a huge part of our lives. And I found out very early that if I went grocery shopping with my mom, I got to set the menu. I could pick the things that I like the most, not my brothers and sisters. Who cares about them? And I've been cooking ever since.
Being the adventurous person that I am, I will eat just about anything. I'm looking over at Tony because he's going to start giggling because some mental image is going to pop in. By the way, thank you. Everyone say thank you next time you see Tony Jones. He is the person who does the sound and makes me sound so good. But when I would go with my mom grocery shopping or whatever, we'd always, well, what do you want for dinner? I'm the adventurous one, so let's do liver and onions. Let's try this. Yeah, I've outgrown the liver and onions phase, but I'm still the adventurous eater. You never know what you're going to have when you come to dinner at my house. But so what foods do you gravitate towards?
I love seafood, and that was the big bonus. Yeah, I got to confess that I had no idea this state has the food scene that it does. I moved here from San Francisco, and I spent a lot of time in Napa Valley, and I run a little public relations business out there for high-end restaurants, so I'm used to eating five-star restaurant food and the best wines you can get. And so when I moved, I thought, oh, my God, I'm going to give this up. And I started a lot of my food writing out there, and I thought, I'm leaving the best food city in America, and I'm going where? Providence, Rhode Island? I had no idea. That Johnson & Wales was here, that Federal Hill was here, that Matunic Oyster Bar, that's my favorite restaurant in the state, by the way, and all this great seafood. I knew there was seafood here, but I had no idea there was such a culinary scene. And quite honestly, when I moved here from San Francisco, I thought, this is great. This is going to be a way for me to shoot, I'm going to shed 30 pounds really fast because I'm not going to be eating. Of course, there's a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner here, too, unlike San Francisco, but this is... The food scene in this state is as good as any part of the United States. Absolutely.
Well, if you read Traveling Magazine, Traveler Condé Nast, there are several travel magazines out there that have placed Rhode Island within the top 10 as a food scene, as a music scene, live entertainment in general, even services like hotels. Rhode Island consistently ranks among the top 10. And I attribute that partially to we don't put up with crap. We don't want to deal with anyone else's crap. So we're going to make, I won't do it to myself. I'm not going to do it to you type of mentality.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, the thing I learned about seafood when I lived in Pensacola, because I lived right on the Gulf of Mexico, right on the water, is seafood is best when it's freshest, when it comes right off the boat.
Yeah.
And because I grew up in Milwaukee, I mean, the only seafood you get there is
crab legs.
You might get some coho salmon out of Lake Michigan. I don't know if that's even safe to eat anymore, because there's a lot more in it than just salmon.
The red tubes of seafood salvage.
It's like you watch The Simpsons, there's that fish with the 3 eyes outside the nuclear power plant.
Blinky, yes.
Blinky, I didn't know that was his name. But anyway, I was spoiled living in Florida right on that water and buying shrimp right off the boats right after they came to shore. Yeah. And so I learned that, and then to come here and be able to go and get fresh lobsters or scallops or anything right out of the bay is just insane.
I got to say,
clams.
It is not any stretch of the imagination why I look the way I do. Because I started off, my first couple of jobs have been in restaurants. Granted, they weren't the fast food restaurants, or they were fast food restaurants, but you got a taste because, and this is a little secret that not too many people will tell you, some of the high-end restaurants will order pizza during dinner service because they don't want to eat that high-end food. They want to have a piece of pizza. They want to have junk food. And this is going now on a national level. Anthony Bourdain. Everyone watches him. CNN now, Parts Unknown. He's got a few other shows out there. He came to Rhode Island. And the part that I find hilarious is he will go to these fine dining establishments, and in the next scene, he's eating termite pot stickers like some street vendor. and he'll run the gambit of going from pinky out fine dining to duck and cover, you're in the ghetto, and I want a hot dog.
I'm the same way, and I don't go to. I went to Siena a couple of weeks ago. It was wonderful. I mean, just wonderful. That's a 5-star restaurant. But my other guilty pleasure is going to the food trucks. And I just missed the big food truck war they have. That's kind of a promotional thing. But I work near Kennedy Plaza now. I went to the Portuguese, and I wish I could think of the name of the truck. I'm sorry, guys, but it was a Portuguese food truck the other day.
Yep.
And got a Portuguese hot dog with the spicy ketchup and the mayo on it. And then they had some cheese. And then they put those shoestring potatoes, not French fries, the little shoestring potatoes. They cram them on top of the thing in a bun. And you eat this thing, and it was the most delicious hot dog. It was chorizo, some kind of. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane from a food truck. I love it.
Being that you've only been in Rhode Island for about 5 years, you said, 6 years, have you had a New York system from Oneyville?
I have not been there yet. The one I go to, the reason being because the other guys up on Smith Street, by Smith Hill, they claim to be the original Onlyville, New York system.
They are the original New York system in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
However, they are not the best.
Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty good. So I do. I have to go to Onlyville simply because they won a James Beard Foundation award last year, and I mean, that's gold. And so I've got to go in there. I tell you who I really like is Wienerama.
In Cranston.
In Cranston, because they put the
I grew up over there.
Are grilled, and the French fries. The French fries are insane in that place.
Actually, right down the street from there is Athenian Deli.
Yeah.
Shares the building with Superior Bakery.
Do I need to know this stuff? I'm trying to lose weight.
Which is right next door to the original first Del's. And that only comes to mind because Tony has the Del's Shandy, the new black cherry, dark cherry shandy.
Yeah.
I believe I have one sitting over there that I'm going to sample later.
Yes, I see.
I'm salivating. I'm saving it till later so I can do just nasty things with it. But the original, Del's is right there.
Well, I was hungry.
But the original Del's is right there, right next to the Athenian Deli, and the Athenian Deli blows Wienerama out of the water.
Really? Okay, I got to try it. I'm always looking for a new place. If anybody could tell me where I can get,
if anyone's going to give you
sandwich, the Vietnamese sandwich,
Mama Kim's.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they have the Korean, the little sliders.
Well, there's 2 Mama Kim's now. There is the food truck Mama
and the
Kim's,
sit down,
and now they have their brick and mortar shop.
Yeah.
But that's one of those Korean is tough.
Yeah.
Because there's also a place called Sura, Sura, in Johnston, which is a Korean all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. They have the grill right there on the table. You don't have to really talk me into going. You just have to mention it, and I'm there.
All right, I got to try that too.
You should just take notes or just listen to this later to get all these restaurants down. I've been to Surrey several times, and it was almost like the joke, John Panette, you go home now, you be here for an hour. I've actually done, not 4 hours, but the food there is
my
amazing.
wife.
I got to check it out.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, the food scene, anything you want, if you're willing to do a little bit of looking, a little bit of traveling, Rhode Island, if you go into Massachusetts a little, you will find it in this 45-mile radius of Providence. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
The one thing, and somebody can help me with this, if you email me the best Portuguese, and I have some friends that say you got to come over to Fall River, New Bedford.
Unfortunately,
the best
yes.
Portuguese restaurant, because I haven't been to one, and I've got to go.
Well,
I've got to check
I'll
it
tell
out.
you what. Why don't we take a break, and when we come back, I will tell you that awesome Portuguese restaurant that I know of. We're going to leave here with Bending Over Backwards. This was sent in to me. The name of the song is Far Away Girl. You're listening to My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio. We'll be back in a minute.